More machines, less manpower. Automation is increasing, but are humans paying a price for progress with their jobs? This is Roundtable with me, Vanessa Cuddiford. As technology advances, we're building machines capable of doing more. But is the pace of change too fast? Does the focus also need to be on adapting human roles to maintain workforces and economies?
Productive and accurate. For centuries, machines have been snapping at the heels of humans. In some industries, they've replaced traditional manpower. But as an artificial intelligence dawn draws ever closer, do they have the potential to make many human jobs obsolete? Or is the phenomenon nothing new? And if greater automation is inevitable, is the global economy ready for the rise of the robots? The increase of automation during the Industrial Revolution saw productivity rise.
Machinery came in to basically save labor, that is, replace workers, or at least make them more efficient in the production of goods.
Fear of job losses to the hands of machines prompted the Luddite movement in Britain in the early 1800s.
So what they did was they broke machines. They would sabotage machinery to make sure it couldn't be used, and so the workers would continue having to go to work.
Over the years, automation has reduced human working hours, and it's changed the makeup of some industries. In 1900, 40% of employed people worked on farms. Today that number is less than 2%. With automation generally reducing the cost of production, products can become cheaper and there's potential for more profit. Are we at risk of losing our jobs to robots? According to the International Institute of Robotics, fewer than 10% of current jobs could be done by a machine. But other research says 30% of jobs in the UK are at high risk of automation by the early 2030s. Another study says almost every major American metropolitan area will lose the majority of its jobs to automation in the next 20 years. We already have self-driving cars, drones that can deliver goods on their own, computers that diagnose disease, and legal services provided by algorithms. As computers become self-learning and able to tackle more complex tasks, will they be able to do a greater variety of jobs in the future?
The computing power that's available makes it clear that it is entirely likely that a lot of professional creative tasks can be automated.
As automation increases, so too do developments in artificial intelligence. Combined, could they be capable of things humans believe only they can do, and are economies and governments prepared?
Well, I'm joined at the round table today by Executive Chairman of the Ayn Rand Institute, Yaron Brook. Also with us is Rob Lugg, he's a trade union activist here in the UK, and Ann Pettifor, she's the Director of the Economic Policy Research Organisation, Prime Economics. Thank you all for joining us here at the round table. Rob, I'm going to come to you first. Optimists say that technology leads to more jobs being created rather than destroyed. Do you agree?
I mean, what we are seeing at the moment, actually, certainly in this country, has actually been a lack of investment, I think, in technology being developed and a mass creation of low-paid, insecure jobs. Those have been substituted instead of developing technologies. Obviously, development of new technologies and the effects that has on the workplace is something that working people have always been aware of. But actually, I think we're entering a different phase now where it's not just going to create new jobs. The potential is that it will get rid of jobs at such a fast pace and in such a massive way that this could impact the whole future of work.
But it's those low-paid, rote work jobs that disappear, allowing people to do better paid, perhaps more interesting jobs, Anne.
Well, that might be the case, and it is certainly true that a lot of routine jobs have been replaced by machinery, and, for example, in agriculture that may happen. But the fact is that people need to be able to work, and they need meaningful work in order for us to maintain stability, social and political stability. And that's going to have to be a big issue for politicians and policymakers.
Mm-hmm. What would you say to that, Yaron?
Look, we've been hearing the same story for over 200 years. Every time there's a new technological innovation since the beginning of the Industrial Revolution, there's been panic in the streets, we're going to lose jobs, and it's never happened. The fact is that there are more people globally working today than ever in human history at actual jobs. There's more opportunities. There's a more diverse workplace. There are much more fulfilling jobs today than there were in the past. In the United States, 150 years ago, 90% of the population worked in agriculture. Today, it's less than 1%, and yet we produce lots more food. The same is going to happen with manufacturing. Manufacturing jobs are going to go away. Robots are going to replace them. But that's a good thing. These are rote jobs. These are boring jobs. And what they're going to be replaced with is the ability of individuals to choose more fulfilling, more meaningful jobs in the future. Now, this somewhat depends on our ability and our educational system and our educational system's ability to keep up. So that is a constraint. But I think we've always been way too pessimistic about technology.